Working with artists is an incredible privilege. Being able to accompany them in their projects, to commission them to realize new things, to accompany their thinking and the conversations and the dialogue that happens as an idea is being generated, as a work is being produced, is by far the greatest privilege of being director of Kunsthalle Basel. Actually, I've come to the Kunsthalle Basel quite a lot over the years. Of course, I often came during the fair, but not only. It was one of my favorite institutions, I have to say. Of course, there are bigger institutions that you go to see historic shows, and this was the institution I came to see emerging artists and contemporary art. I didn't ever dare to dream concretely of becoming director of Kunsthalle Basel, but of course, as a curator interested in contemporary art, I think this is one of the plateaus you can achieve, because it's amazing conditions for art, an amazing space, custom built to show art, and an incredible history into which to step into. The exhibitions of Mark Leckey and Vincent Mason are two very different aesthetic, conceptual proposals. But what they do share is that both actually have demonstrated how the artist can have the role not only of a maker of images or objects, but also the role of a curator, in the sense of, not that they're taking over the job of the curator necessarily, but they're actually, the way they look at the world, the way they make their artistic practice has very much to do with selecting, displaying, constructing scenarios around the display of objects. And this is something very much that Mark has done and Vincent Mason has done in his work. And I wanted, as new director, also to give over this role to the artists as one of the kind of first statements of the launch of the new program.
What I want from a curator is someone who gives you the space to be able to do things, obviously, that are within a deadline, but you want that deadline to be as kind of expansive as it possibly can be. So she's very good at that. She's very good at kind of stepping back and letting you do it yourself, which I like. And then if you need her, she's there to kind of like offer kind of advice or criticism, which is, that's what you want from a curator, essentially, is that. I mean, this isn't about the internet, it's just a kind of result of what the internet's done to me, because it's such a vast archive. You do get lost in time, you get lost in period, you get lost in history.
What you do see, though, is what happens when an artist categorizes the world, because in some ways it is a form of kind of observing the world through the internet, responding to it, and developing different categories for it. His categories are man, machine, animal, and monsters. Yours or mine might have been different, might have been other categories, or with other objects included in the categories. But these are Mark Leckey's, and it's a very particular way. All of his work, you could say, is about this fascination with the world around him. What do I like about art? I think I like most about art, of course, that it makes me see the world differently, that it makes me sometimes understand the world in a way that I wouldn't without art. But most of all, I think I like that I don't understand it always. And I like that you can be in front of a work of art and it moves you and it affects you and it can make you cry or think or doubt, and you might not know why.